The calls to this desk come from inmates, past and present, and the people who love them. About 120 people have so far met the criteria for a class action lawsuit targeting the province's use of solitary confinement in all 5 correctional facilities and 2 lockups from the 1990s until now.
It wouldn't be uncommon for there to be urine, feces, blood on the walls. The descriptions I've heard is just generally conditions that are unfit to house an animal, frankly, let alone a human.
Jim Locke is concerned by the number of people with serious mental health issues who were sent to solitary confinement. He's arguing that 15 days or more in isolation constitutes cruel and unusual punishment, and those who have been subjected to it should be compensated by government.
One of the principal goals of corrections needs to be rehabilitation. It doesn't serve us any good to simply lock someone up for a finite period of time and have them return to society only to commit further crimes.
When a person goes into segregation, that type of segregation, after so many days they just shut down.
In 2017, the provincial government changed the length of time someone could spend in segregation for behavioral issues, from 15 to 10 days. But Locke says it's done little to curb the overall use of solitary confinement.
I see sentences of 5 days, 10 days. What's still concerning, though, is that I've heard from some people whereby they're sentenced there for one period of time and then they're either brought back up to their living unit for a very short period of time and then sentenced again and sent back down, or they may very well be brought up and isolated in their own cell for a period of time. Citizens
Representative Bradley Moss says his office receives complaints regularly from inmates.
It breaks people down, in a phrase. It's very hard on the psyche. I've heard instances of self-injury, hallucinations, these types of things.
Moss says many of the calls come from Her Majesty's Penitentiary, and some issues can be chalked up to the antiquated building. Construction of a new jail is still a year away. Justice Minister John Hogan didn't comment on the lawsuit, but says meetings are happening with stakeholders on the future of corrections. But what about now?
So there is only so much we can do with the space that's down there. I mean, it is what it is in terms of the construction and the walls and the facility and the segregation units and things like that. But we will, we do work with the inmates down there. We hear their concerns.
Issues within corrections in this province are a familiar story, followed up by familiar promises. Locke hopes the lawsuit will push for change, starting with a hit to where it hurts, the government's pocketbooks. Ariana Kelland, CBC News, St. John's.